On behalf of everyone here, I request our DDG to share some experience with the cadets.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, first of all, you all can take off your caps and be comfortable. Just adjust your hair in case some pictures and all are taken. You must come good. कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Check. Okay. Okay. Other. Check. Okay. Can you hear me? Commanding Officer 4 TN Girls Battalion. Commanding Officer 34 Independent Company. Commanding Officer Designate 34 Independent Company. Other officers. Associate NCC officers, PI staff, state government staff, and my dear cadets of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andaman Nicobar Directorate. At the outset, I wish to thank Almighty for His blessing, and I am fortunate that I am visiting Tanjore, my maiden visit after 20 months of assuming charge. So I considered it a matter of privilege that I am visiting Tanjore and visiting the unit. I wish to thank PMIST management for their excellent support. They have given us this facility and I am able to interact with the cadets. I wish to thank Group Commander Trichy Group who has coordinated my visit and everything is going in a very smooth and professional manner. I wish to thank the Commanding Officer of 34 Independent Company for coordinating all aspects of my visit. I am getting a flavor of Tanjore and I am also getting a flavor of NCC of this part of the world. I wish to thank all the PI staff, ANOs and who have been coordinating my visit and who have been participating in this camp. Now first of all, I also wish to compliment all the award winners for their excellent performance, for their excellent work in NCC, which has led them to get this award, Certificate of Appreciation by the DDG. But I also wish to compliment each one of you present here. When I was young, I didn't get too many awards, but God is kind that I am giving too many awards when I am DDG. So those of you who have got awards, well done. Those of you who have yet to get an award, there is always a next time. Now my talk is primarily based on my experience of interacting with NCC cadets, and essentially I realized that everybody wants to be successful in life. They pick up a degree, they pick up a college so that they can get success in life. Some of them choose NCC to maximize their chances of success. Then they will do some sports, they will do some hobby so that they are success, and they think, or all of us think, that if you are successful, then you will be happy. So my talk is primarily how to move on the path to success. And this is based on my experience of 34 years of the Navy. It was on 30th November 21 when I had finished my assignment of Staff College at Wellington and I was heading for Chennai to assume my duties of DDG. I had 7 days of packing time. It was during this time that one of my friends called me up and said, can you be a chief guest for an online function on Navy Day, and you have to address 4,000 students from class 1 to 12. So it was in those 48 hours that I thought, I looked back at my life and I spoke for the first time in my life about a concept called ABCD. Have you heard this talk? Some of you may have seen it on YouTube. Essentially, now, based on my experience of interacting with cadets, I expanded it to ABCD, GHST, but then I found a lot of cadets were sleeping whenever I spoke, so I have reduced it to ABCDT. So in the next 20 minutes or so, or 30 minutes, depending on my health, I will speak to you on my tips for you all to be successful through a path of ABCDT. Okay, understood? So now, one of the first advice I give to young people, that the only difference between you today and you tomorrow is books you read and people you meet. You meet a good commanding officer in NCC, you will become little better. You meet a good teacher, you learn something. Your parents look after you, you will be a well-adjusted individual. You meet a good boss, you meet a good spouse, you have good friends. So as you meet different people in life, they shape you. So if you meet good people, you will become better. If you meet bitter people, you will become bitter. Books, again, books is something I always advise young people to read. And I make it a point to simplify them. There is no harm in reading comics. There is no harm in reading mystery. There is no harm in reading suspense. There is no harm in reading novels. There is no harm in reading anything. Cooking, golf, whatever you want. Religion, philosophy, anything, something of which interests you, you must try and read either in a book or on the web or in a podcast or wherever possible. Because as exercise is to body, reading is to mind. And so many people have gone through life leaving behind their thoughts in books. So you must pick up this habit as early as possible. Books you read and people you meet. One of the book I read in Coimbatore when I was in 2016 was a book called The Road Less Traveled. It is by an author called M. Scott Peck. And the first line of the book is, life is difficult. And that is the line I use whenever I speak to young people. So when I was young in college, I thought my life will become better. When I get a degree, I'll have a 9-to-5 job, I'll be independent. But I realized in my journey of 34 years that life has continued to remain difficult. After you get married, complications start. After you get your complexities of life increase, then you bring children, then you join a company, then you head a company, then you become a DDG, then you become a commanding officer, you become an associate NCC officer, you become an SMSAR, you become a Subedar. So I found that this life is difficult for everyone. And the moment you accept this fact that life is difficult, then life becomes manageable. So this is my first advice, books to read and people you meet, and always keep in mind that life is difficult for everyone. So whenever you get a difficulty in life, don't run to papa, don't run to mama, solve the problem. The more problems you solve, the better you shall become. As you solve problems, your mind expands. So how do you navigate through this life? Is the tip which I gave is ABCDT. Has anybody seen this talk on YouTube? Anybody? Okay. So now first A which I share with young people is awareness. Has anybody heard this before? Awareness. Can you understand English? How many of you can understand English? Okay, good. Please sit down. Please keep your hands down. Anybody who is feeling sleepy can quietly sleep. There is no problem. This is a good auditorium. You can sleep quietly. I will not bother you because some of you may be tired. So the first advice for finding success is awareness. When did I learn of this term? When I was young, my first job as a naval officer in INS Vibhuti. Every time when the captain came on the bridge and he said, Rusty, what is happening? If I told him, sir, that ship is going there, that ship is coming here, engines are running at 12 knots, wind is from there, he would say, well done. So then I realized that situational awareness for an officer of the watch of a ship is very, very important. And the more situationally aware you are, your chances of ship navigating, meeting its challenges is high. As I went through my naval journey in INS Delhi in 1999, there was Operation Kargil. We came to terms called battle space awareness, maritime domain awareness, underwater awareness. So I realized that chances of success improves if your awareness is high. Then I went to Staff College as instructor, DS, Defense Services Staff College, Wellington. There I did a course, then I was an instructor. There we read a book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu, who is a Chinese scholar. And he says that if you know your enemy, you can win one battle. But if you know yourself, you can win 100 battles. You will know when to fight, you will know when to avoid, you will know what to fight for, how to go through this life. So this is where this concept of awareness kept on increasing as I moved on my path of my journey through life. When I was commanding Akshay, I was in Operation Parakaram. Whatever could be happening in any part of the world, my challenge was to know what is happening in Akshay as a captain and what is happening around Akshay. Then my chances of success improved. I accomplished mission. My boss was happy. So I got promotion. Same thing I learnt in Dunagiri. So as I moved through life, I realized that awareness is an important component, and a very important part of awareness is self-awareness. How does awareness apply to a young people like you? Awareness of who you are, where are you from, where do you want to go? What do you want from life? What is your definition of success? What do you want to be 10 years from now? What do you want to be 20 years from now? Why have you joined NCC? Do you want to be in the police? Do you want to be in government? Do you want to be a sweeper? Do you want to be a taxi driver? Do you want to be a DDG? Do you want to have a family? Do you want to look after your mother? So this awareness of you and the world around you, if you're aware, your chances of success in life improves. Are you understanding something? Who all have understood the concept of awareness? Raise your hands. Okay, good. Please keep your hands down. So this awareness is an important component. The more aware you are of you and the world around you. What is the world around you? Your family, how much money your father earns, why are you poor, why are you rich, how much richness you want, why have you chosen this college, why have you chosen NCC, do you like armed forces, do you want to be an armed forces officer, do you want to be a Havildar, do you want to join Air Force, what is happening in your brother's life, family's life, friend's life, do you want to be in Tanjore, do you want to go in Chennai, do you want to travel to Delhi, do you want to see the world? As you become aware of you and the world around you, your chances of success in this life improves and you are on the path to success. The SW cadet rounds that I was deputy president in Coimbatore and I was in SSB for 6.5 years. I have interviewed 2000 candidates for choosing to become an officer in the armed forces. Most of them were from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala. And I found that the smarter ones had higher degree of self-awareness. Are you with me? There was a cadet whom I met, a candidate. He came to me for interview and I said, why do you want to join NDA? He said, I want to be a Marine Commando. What do you know about Marine Commando? He knew everything about Marine Commando in the world. I said, how much can you run? He's saying, I can run 20 kilometers. I said, what happens if you die? He's saying, it doesn't matter. I said, when did you get this idea of becoming Marco? He's in class 6. So when he made up his mind in class 6, by the time he came to me for an interview, he was looking like a Marco. So do you agree that his chances of becoming a Marco is better? Do you agree? Whosoever is awake can answer yes sir or no sir. Do you agree that his chances of success in life is better? Everybody is sleeping there, looks like. This corner. Okay, have you understood? So what is A for? No breakfast. What is A for? No, everybody is not saying. A for? Okay, good. So you must remember this concept even if you don't understand everything. Remember that this is an important part as experienced by DDG in his life. Okay? If you get your awareness right, you have to move to something called B. And what is B for? Balance. Again, this talk is available. When did I learn this term balance? So when I was in NDA, National Defence Academy, in the first term I was getting 6.5 CGPA or 6.47. So I was very good in academics, just missed the book prize of mathematics. But I failed or I did not pass 4 PT tests. So everybody used to look down upon me. What kind of man you are or boy you are? You can't pass these basic tests. Then my division also called me. Come here. He said, you know, your right hand is strong. Now keeping your right hand strong, you have to improve your left hand, which is sports, physicals. How much ever I tried, I realized that I'm not able to do it. So from my time in academics, I reduced. And time in physical activity, I increased. So every night before sleeping, I should do bench stretches. Morning, first thing, bench stretches. Soon my grades reduced in academics and my PT test I started passing. I passed out with my course. Whereas some people did not pass, some people failed, some people were expelled. So that is the first time when I look back, I probably was talked about something called balance. When I joined the Navy, I found that I was drawn towards water sports. And first I started sailing in enterprise class boat, 2 of us. We realized that we capsize. The breeze comes and you capsize. Somebody loses the balance, the boat is upside down. Then I started doing windsurfing. You know what is windsurfing? There is a board, there is a sail. First thing to surf is you have to get the balance right on the board. I got the balance, I started moving, I started surfing. Then I started doing water skiing. So as I moved in life, I understood that, you know, balancing is an important part. As I got married, I had to balance my time between work and wife. As I grew up, I had to balance with external agencies. As I have become DDG, I have to do a lot of balancing act. Time for cadets, time to visit, time to interact with state government, central government, DG NCC, commanding officers. So as we go up, you realize that there is an aspect of balancing which is a very important aspect. And people who are successful continue to get their balance right, revisiting their concept of balance as and when they progress through life. How does balance relate to a cadet who is seated here? Time between academics and NCC, time between academics, NCC and household chores, time between academics, NCC, sports, social media, mall, walking with friends, chit-chatting, visiting big temple, going on a holiday, preparing for a career, reading about army, doing something in NCC, aspiring for a medal, choosing a game that I will reach Delhi. As you move ahead, your concept of balance, dimensions of balance will keep increasing. So my second advice to move on the path to success is get your balance right. Zig Ziglar says that, you know, all of us have finite amount of time, talent and treasure. So all of us have to, the better we manage our time, the better we manage our talent, and the better we manage our treasure. Good. Some of you are awake. Your chances of success improves. When your father is poor and your friend has got 20,000 mobile, if your father can only give you 5,000 mobile, you will be happy. He is balancing. between your education, food on the table, so many things. So if you get an awareness of you and the world around you, and then you get a balance, your chances of success improves. Yesterday I met a cadet at Kumbakonam, Cadet Induja. She has got a medal in IDSSC. Anybody has heard of Induja? Anybody has heard of her? Okay, good. So when I met her, I said, what about joining armed forces? She said, no sir, I will not join. My mother is single. I have to worry about her. My father is not there. I am single child. I said, good. She is getting the balance right. She is aware of her world. And she is going to keep that in mind as and when she moves on the path ahead. So getting your awareness, thereafter getting your balance right, is likely to put you on the path to success. Have you understood? What is B for? Only SW cadets have understood. B for? Okay, it looks like most of you have understood. So if you get your awareness right, and then you get the balance right, then you have to move to something called C. And what is C for? Courage. Good. This camp has got smart cadets, both SW and SD. What is courage? Courage is capability to make a choice in everyday affairs of life. Courage is not only jumping in fire and saving your girlfriend, or courage or saving your boyfriend nowadays also. Or courage is in everyday life, how you make choices. Your ability to make choices, the earlier you get it, chances of success improves. Sitting in NCC, balancing your academics, you can choose to make a choice that I will aspire for a book prize in physics, I will aspire for C certificate 80% marks. If you get it, it is good. Today you see some cadet getting a medal in shooting, but you have no interest in shooting. Then why should you even think of shooting? So this courage to make a choice in everyday affairs of life is a very, very important quality as you go through life. Courage to stand up, courage to come here, courage to raise a hand, courage to stand up to your parents. I don't want this, I want this. Tomorrow you need courage to stand up in office if somebody asks you to do something. Courage to stand up to your PI staff if you think that there is an inappropriate request. Courage to stand up for yourself, courage to stand up for your friends. Courage to fight, courage to refuse fight. Sometimes refusing fight is also courage. You are going through here, somebody has passed some comment. But that day your aim is different. Your plan of the day is different. Forget him. So courage to go through life and make a choice is what determines or what places you on the path to success. Any other example of courage anybody can give me? Yes, some people are raising hands. Yes, good. Courage to stand up and speak. Please, good. Sometimes we may be underconfident. We don't know whether we can stand up and talk. Courage to make a choice. Courage to opt for armed forces as a career. Courage to not to opt for armed forces. Courage to set up a business. If you do it, if you make a choice after getting your awareness and balance, your chances of success improves. People are going to innovate nowadays. People are having startups. Having a startup, going for a startup is a choice. Why? Because you read a lot of stories about success in startup. Millionaires. What we don't read is 90% people have not made it in startups. Now, should you have attempted a startup? Should you be an entrepreneur? Should you be a teacher? Should you be a lawyer? Should you be so-and-so? Should you be so-and-so? And you will get enough examples as you go through life. Your parents may say, marry this boy. Your father may say, marry that girl. Now you have to decide. Somebody may say, I want you to work in Punjab. But your heart says, I want to serve the Navy and be like DDG, see the world. So every day, if you go through life with courage, making choices, after getting your awareness right and balance right, you are placing yourself on the path to only few cadets. On the path to good. So that is what all of us want in life. Today also these same rules apply to me. I am going to retire in June 24. What are my options? I have to make a choice. Should I work in a company? Should I make a startup? Should I start a coaching? What should I do? So everyday life you have occasions to make choices. And my theory is, if you make choices after getting your awareness right and balance right, your chances of success improves. When I look back, I realized that I had made a choice when I was 8.5 or 9.5 years old. My father shifted me to a different school where all the boys were getting admitted into residential boarding schools. So I shifted and I qualified the science school entrance exam. I qualified out of 10,000 cadets. Some boys must have passed. When I went for interview, the principal said, "You are very young. You come next year." I said, "Sir, I will join this year." Finally, I had got selected. When I entered science school on 4th June 1978, my name was not there on the list. Entire day, my papa and all were running around. What has happened? And those days we are poor. But finally the matter went to principal in the evening. Principal said, "Yes, I have taken this boy." So I got him. In my first SSB attempt, I jumped back from an obstacle. I had gone up on a Tarzan's leap. When I was about to jump, I got scared. So I came back. I got rejected in SSB. Then I had to make a choice. Should I attempt second time? How should I attempt? I said, if everybody jumping and catching the rope, my chances of catching the rope is high. Since I caught the rope, so I'm here. So every day, the way I told you about balancing, I said, let me give up on maths book prize. Let me get my physical. Let me pass PT test. So every day, if you make choices which are more relevant to you, your chances of success in this life improves. So what is C for? C for? Okay, good. So if you get ABC right, then the next is D. And what is D for? Discipline. So what is discipline? If anybody has heard my video. What is discipline? You're all unity and discipline, NCC motto. One line on discipline. Anything, one line. Okay, please sit down. That side. Anybody, one line on discipline? Yes, good. Courage is coming.
Sir, discipline, it helps to lead your life in better ways, sir.
It helps to lead your
Life in better ways, sir.
life in a better way.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please sit down. Good. My simple answer is following a rule-based life. The earlier you get it, your chances of success improves. Suppose you know there is a rule, don't drink and drive. Why should you drink and drive? If you drink and drive, 5 days you will survive. 6th time police will catch you. Your schedule will get upset. Next you have to pay a fine. Don't take drugs. Keep your surrounding clean. Wear clean uniform. Be in time. Wake up in time. Fold your bed. Do something in house. These are all small issues which you pick up early. Your chances of success improves. You know, when I was in Sainik school, so we had a housemaster, Shri M. Jha, who is no more. So I think once or twice I was caught sleeping in the afternoon. So they used to come and shake us, Bhagwan, sone ka nahi hai. So that habit of not sleeping in the afternoon, I have got it now. I sleep only once, despite being at 55. Whenever I sleep in the afternoon, I remember my housemaster. He will come and wake me up and shake me. So small habits, when they form in the young stage, they give you very rich dividends as you grow up. Sleeping for 6 hours, waking up little early, planning for the day, managing your time, setting a goal, organizing your office, organizing your desk. These are all aspects of discipline. Because only when you are disciplined as a young man, your discipline will set in. You will take a stand. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to hang on a bus and move. I will wait. So it is for you to follow rules and regulations. Nobody is there to check you. PI staff can check in your camp, teachers can check you in your school. But if you get self-discipline in your blood, your chances of success improves. Are you with me? So the most important component of discipline is self-discipline. Follow the rule-based life when nobody is watching. You get into good habits. You form good habits. They become a part of you. They become your character, and that decides your destiny. Leaders. There is a 5:30 a.m. club. Great leaders wake up little early when the whole world is sleeping. They plan the day. And they said, these are my 3 issues which I have to tick during the day. I have a habit of going for meetings early. And I realize whichever meeting I have gone early, I have been a winner. I find a lot of people come late for the meeting, then they don't know what meeting they have come for. How can they protect their organization? Are you with me? Wearing correct uniform, wearing correctly dressed. My wife was asking me, why are you buying uniform now? You are retiring. I said, no, I'm meeting NCC cadets. Their uniform, their fathers are paying, even if the government uniform is not reaching. How can I wear a little outdated uniform? That is an aspect of self-discipline. So, I'm just giving example, and there are numerous examples you can see around. So, as you get more discipline in your life, your chances of success in the life improves. So, what is D for? No, not good enough. D for? Okay, good. So, how do you get your ABCD right? Is through something called T. And what is T for? Time management. Anybody else? Talent. Good. Anybody else? Target. Good. Cadets are waking up. Looks like time for lunch. So everybody is getting up now. What about T? Anybody? Any guess? Timing. Good. That's a good guess. Sorry? Training. Okay. My answer is simple. It is thinking. How do you get your awareness right? Through thinking. Why do you always sit there? Why do you like sitting in the front bench? Why don't you sit next to him? Why do you like her? Why do you hate your brother so much? Why do you love your sister so much? What are your strengths? Who will tell you this? Somebody may tell you, you're a smart girl, bad boy. Now you have to think, why has somebody called you bad? So as you think through your life interactions, your awareness increases. You get correct balance. You make correct choices. How do you make correct choices? So many times NCC cadets ask me questions. How to take better decisions? If you are aware of yourself and the situation at hand, then you must make a choice. Should you choose army? Should you choose navy? Should you become a lawyer? Who else can tell you except the man or woman in the mirror? And thinking is such a powerful tool that a lot of us waste it. Every day you look at yourself in the mirror and you see a smart boy. You will automatically become smart. I want to be an IPS officer. You will start reading about IPS. I don't know what will I become. You will become nothing. Thoughts are what they make us. If you think you can or you can't, you are right. I can't do this. Obviously then you can't do it. I can do this. You will be able to do it. How do you set goals? How do you make an aim? Through thinking. In my 3rd year of college, I need to achieve this. Who else will tell you this? Your papa has got so many things to worry. He is worried about paying house rent, maintaining the house, getting food on the table, buying your mobile, buying you dresses, finding a boy or a girl for you. So he's got his own worries. If you don't think for yourself and look at everybody else, you will end up in the wrong situation. So many cadets are pursuing wrong degree because the parents advise them. They have not spent time with themselves to become aware of themselves or what is happening in the world. And these are all possible through thinking. And thinking is a very vast subject. I learnt about thinking in my naval journey. When I was president of NSB in Visakhapatnam, I read a book called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. It's a very thin book, 35 pages. Then I read a book, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Then I read a book, Art of Thinking Clearly, how we make mistakes in our day-to-day life. And there are 80 chapters on thinking clearly. A lot of us make mistakes. And the whole world around will confuse you. You go to a mall to buy a shirt, now you get an offer. Buy 2, take 5. Buy 5, take 12. You went to buy one shirt, you have 1,000 rupees which your mother has given. Now you've got confused. Buy 5, get 12. You think you will get a girlfriend or you will get a boyfriend. You will do well. What has happened? Now you will take a credit card because you want loan. Now you are under loan. When you carry 12, now you don't have a cupboard. And this is one example which I am trying to share. You can't afford, you have bought a 22,000 rupees phone. Some cadets I met in the morning. I didn't ask them who's paid for it. Have they taken loans? So many of us, there is a staff in my office. He came to me. SDFC Bank has sent a court notice. Pay my loan every month. 1,39,000 is the loan amount. He's taken loan from this bank, that bank. Somewhere he has not done his thinking correctly. Somewhere he said, take a loan, life will be better. So getting your thinking right, thinking for yourself is a final piece of advice I wish to leave you with all. And this is a line which in Tirunelveli somebody asked me, what is your final advice, sir? So I had to think. Then I said, okay, think for yourself. So this is my final advice, and I would urge you all that try and follow this ABCD in the hope that you will follow or you will achieve success which you truly deserve, which is yours, and the tool is think for yourself. Thank you very much. I wish to thank Commanding Officer 4TN Girls Battalion for organizing this interaction. I would thank PMIST once again for their excellent facility, allowing us to do camps, and I wish to thank you all for your patient listening. Thank you. Jai Hind. Okay, thank you very much. Now I'm open to questions. So since there are a lot of smart people, I can take 10 questions. Good.
Jane, sir. Sir, you told like following a set of rules is what discipline is. So I have two questions for you, sir. My first question is there any difference between discipline and ethics in life? So I want you to answer this question. And my second question is, when I'm talking about ethics...
No, 1 minute. I have not understood the first question.
So you said like following set of rules in a life is discipline. So is there any difference between discipline and ethics in life, sir? So that's my first question.
So your question is there any difference between discipline and ethics?
Ethics, sir. Yes, sir.
I think there's a difference. Ethics depends on, while there is a code of conduct for ethics, following an ethical life is a choice we have to make. And some of us can always, be a little flexible depending on life. But rules are something that sometimes you are bound to obey. So driving with a license is a rule. Ethics, what are some examples of ethics? Never lying, being respectful. What are some examples of ethics? Can you share with me? What is your get?
Sir, I have my own ethics. Like, I'm an artist, so whenever I'm going for my practice, like, I'll do certain things. My diet will be like, before practice alone, I'll have strict restrictions. So this is my personal, my professional ethics towards my like passion.
Okay.
So many ethics are there in life, sir.
Okay, understood. See, both are related sometimes in a way. Ethics is something, you know. Okay. See, the two are, I think, related. Ethical way of life is a choice we have to make. There are a lot of examples where they converge also, and sometimes they can be separate. Often, let me think. I don't think I'm getting an answer straight away. Anybody else wishes to answer anything? Anybody else wishes to answer this? What is the difference between ethics and good, smart, correct.
So in ethics, we can make the choice whether we want to follow. It's our own thing. But rules we have to follow everywhere.
Okay, understood. Okay, I think I'll have to think. Okay, good. Second question.
So my second question is also related to ethics. So there is two things in ethics. One is personal ethics and the second one is professional ethics. Certain things in profession is like right, you have to take that decision. But according to my personal ethics, no, that is wrong. So for example, like I'm an NCC cadet, whatever I faced in my, like, it's a small situation. So my junior had a genuine reason for coming late, but coming late was like, I have to give punishments. Professional ethics says it's right, but my personal ethics says it's wrong. So as a senior, what should be my decision?
Okay, see, life is, that is where sometimes I say, follow as many rules as possible. Let me, since you have asked a question, I have got an idea about ethics.
Yes.
See, discipline is following rules and regulations, driving with a license. What is ethics? Not copying somebody's material. Circulating some article. She has written it, she shows it to you, you pick up some idea, before she submits, you have submitted it. So this will fall in the zone of ethics. So this is not discipline, there is no rule, but you are betraying the trust of a fellow sister cadet or student. And so many times this happens. So many people, when they rise to higher position, they lose, they think that they can be little less ethical. And that is where they get into the trap. So it's probably a parallel line, somewhere they converge, somewhere they are divergent. So ethics may not have rules. Ethics is what is accepted as in a society. Looking after your brother when he's in a trouble, younger brother. Now there's no rule for that. I think it'll probably, okay, so maybe one example I gave you about copying an article. Let me see, I have some examples from military. Like there is a syndrome called Bata Seba syndrome. So this was a syndrome where a king was there, and there was I have read this article before. Since there was a chapter on ethics I had read, so I can share it. So this article where what is happening is king is fighting a war, but in the meantime he's got a son of senapatis. So he's got 2-3 people under him, and then he eyes the wife of the senapati. So what happens? He sends the senapati to the forward area so that he can have company of the wife. So this is what we learnt in Bata Seba syndrome. So as we go up, sometimes we think ethics, we can be little less ethical. So this will not follow in the terms of rules and regulations. There is no, or maybe there are rules also of in military nowadays. So they are complementary, they are divergent on occasions. So Bata Seba syndrome, if anybody wishes to read and understand ethics, you can read. Okay? BATHASEBA syndrome. Okay, good question. Yes, somebody else had a, yes, good. Mike?
Jain sir.
Jai Hind.
My
Oh, sorry. She is smarter.